What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2. And, for the last few days, we've been talking about everything that's been going on. So, hey, I got all the parties here. So, hopefully, we can come to some resolution today. So, I have Cali here, I got Kevin here, I got Lewis here, and I have Royce. So, basically, this is just going to be a conversation, no fight, no nothing. We just having a conversation and laying it all on the table. So, hopefully, we need some resolution today. So, like I said, welcome to my panel. Callie, I wanted to go ahead and start out with you first. If you can just tell us that night, what did you expect from that night, from the ceremony?
Um, so what I remember was I was invited to this what they called a mushroom ceremony. Not sure why it's called a mushroom ceremony, but that's what it was called. Um, I was told, it's supposed to be a spiritually enlightening type of thing going on. It's supposed to be a spiritually enlightening type of event, which I'm all for, right? So I was, previously, maybe a week or two before that night, maybe, I was at the house with Kev and Superman, and they were, explaining to me about these mushrooms and, how they can take you to a next level of consciousness, a next level of spirituality, So, I was interested, because I'm very much into my spirituality, trying to grow consciously, things like that. So I was with it, like I wanted to see what it does. Um, at the same time, I had my own spiritual instructions for going to this thing, right?
Mhm.
I was told that this would be an event where we would have like somebody there watching us. Like for if you have a bad trip or something, like there would be somebody there in case you're having a bad trip or anything. They would help they would help walk you through your trip. You know,
Right.
um, I was told there would be some medical people there in case anything went wrong. Uh, I was also told that we were not allowed to have our phones. We were not supposed to have our phones at this event because, people didn't want to be seen in an altered state of mind on these mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I was told these mushrooms can make people act in different ways, and nobody wants to be embarrassed. Perfect example, some people, if you know the story, they say some people were using the bathroom and chairs and throwing up over balconies. You had me laughing on the stairs. So I was told this is why you're not supposed to have your phone at this event. Even when I got there, we started out over at the guest house with Kev. I started out over at the guest house with Kev and his friend, his female friend that was there. And he told me basically we couldn't go over to the main house right away because basically uh, we wasn't on the level yet. We wasn't, we hadn't taken the mushrooms yet. And I guess the
Right.
people over at the main house had already started taking the mushrooms, right? So another example of why we were not supposed to have our phones, right? Because they don't want you to be seen in an altered state of mind, right? So that was
Right.
the reason my girl dropped me off there because she wasn't participating, and they didn't want, if you're not participating, they don't want nobody seeing you in those altered state of minds, right?
Right. So you had to be participating in order to be
You
there.
had to be participating, what I was told, because that's why my girl dropped me off, or else my girl would have stayed there with me. She would have
Mhm.
stayed there. I would have loved to have my girl staying there to watch me. You know what I'm saying? But because she wasn't participating, she left, went home. I stayed. All right. She knew everything, but I thought I was coming there for a spiritual enlightening event. Um, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never done this before. I'd never been at any of these events, parties, none of that. So I wasn't expecting um, anything other than a spiritual, enlightening event.
Had you seen anyone take mushrooms before?
I've never seen anyone take mushrooms. My whole introduction to mushroom conversation was with Superman and Kevin Wesley. Um,
Mm.
that was my introduction to even but it was intriguing to me, and I said, I want to experience that.
You didn't look up anything to see like how it might make you feel?
Yeah, I did after my conversation with them. Not how it makes you feel, not so much how it makes you feel, but I started watching documentaries on them. And that's why I told you, like, I seen the documentary of the people in India or whatever, and they were saying that these mushrooms help you with ADHD, they help you with anxiety, and what really caught my attention was when they say doctors be using
Yeah.
mushrooms. So I said, well, if doctors are using mushrooms, why is this shit illegal? Why is this stuff illegal?
It made you
Like,
curious.
yeah, like why is it illegal? Like, what are they hiding from us? That doctors are using it, but it's illegal for us to use it or whatever. So that's what intrigued me to want to try it because I didn't understand that, and I wanted to see like why are they hiding this from us? That you know. So talking to Superman, talking to Kevin, one night I was interested and I started doing my research on it then. And then the crazy part of it was right after that they started decriminalizing it. I think Oakland, California was the first place to decriminalize it. Then I think Denver, Colorado decriminalized it. And I was like, yo, what's up with these mushrooms? Like people are messing with these mushrooms now. And that was my introduction. That was my first and last time ever doing
Hmm.
Right. Callie, before you continue, I want to ask Kevin a question real quick. And I didn't ask you this the first time, but I wanted to know with the mushroom ceremony, is that something that you created or is that a thing? I know doing shrooms is a thing, but as far as calling it a ceremony, is that what you particularly call it, or is this a known thing in the spiritual realm?
I started teaching on mushrooms a while back, not from the standpoint of what they do, but
Hmm.
culturally how people saw them back in the day. They built religions off of these mushrooms and believed them to be so powerful. So anyway, I call it a mushroom ceremony because it's spiritual. It's simply to open your pineal gland, awaken internally. Um, I taught about it, like I said, for a few months before I did it. Didn't know how to get them aware, and of course, I mentioned them to Superman,
Hmm.
and then I finally got access to some and went from there. But I've only done them probably on I can probably count on one hand how many times I've done them, and each time is for enlightenment purposes. The event that Cali came to is the only one where we've invited outsiders that I was familiar with.
Okay. And I want to ask you about that too. So I know you said you can only count them on one hand. You know how many times you have done it, but do you know roughly how many times? So this isn't a thing like y'all would do it like every week or every, few days.
No,
Like
not at
it was
all.
rare. Okay.
No, not my body wouldn't be able to handle something like that. I've tried ayahuasca, um, uh, which one is another one, DMT
Hmm.
and shrooms, and experimented all of those around in that time, but all of those are for enlightenment purposes. Um, I think even when Royce came out, when it was mentioned to her, it's for the same reason. Um, so that's what I've always taught on things like that. I always sought for more information spiritually. So I just wanted to, try something new. I've been in religion for so long, so reading about these mushrooms, hearing how they can unlock your mind. Hey, I was all about that.
Right. And how would you decide who you can trust and who you couldn't trust? As far as, hey, I'm gonna invite you to do this because what was it about Cali where you'd be like, hey, I can probably invite him and see if he's down to do it? Like, 'cause I mean, you don't ask everybody to. You might ask somebody if they drink or if they smoke, but shrooms, that's one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So he was somebody who worked hand in hand with me on a lot of my projects. Um,
Mm.
Someone who I felt like was a like mind. He was learning a lot of things from me. He wanted to be free from religion and things like that as well. Coming out of religion, I kind of lost a lot of friends and family, so I connected to people like that. That kind of was on the same wavelength as me. You see what I'm saying? So the first few times was only with Dwight and a few other friends, but yeah, I wouldn't have invited anybody to something like that. I felt like that was something that he could handle because of course intrigued by it as well. Um, but the way that night happened is it was spur of the moment. Someone mentioned I think it was Dwight. He might have mentioned inviting some friends over,
Mm.
and so I called Cali, and Cali normally couldn't come. I had invited him a couple of times, but he always had to work. This particular day, he said he would come. I think I asked him when he ate and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff is important. I think he was within the range of hadn't ate. So he was going to come out as soon as he could get there. He was about like an hour and something from where we were. It might have been an hour and a half. I'm not sure. He could tell you better than me, but I know him and his girl was invited both. When she said she wouldn't do them, of course, you can't stay if you're not doing them. When he came out there, I imagine on Superman's side, they had already let people in, and apparently they didn't take phones from them. But I'm always told to ask for phones, so I'm gonna do my job or whatever. And I know Lewis wasn't there that night; he was in his room, so I guess no other phones were taken. But Callie and I got to the ceremony probably an hour after everybody else. So we sat on my side, ate the shrooms, and then waited until we felt like they kicked in to walk over.
Where was I?
At this point, Royce, I had not saw you.
I was in my room,
Okay.
Mm.
sleep.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in real quick. So one thing that everything you said, Kevin, about like how you explained, the reason for taking shrooms and all of that, you explained it to me the same way, and I've also heard that from multiple people that that's why they do it, and they are typically called ceremonies because you really do reach a different realm and a different way of thinking. It is somewhat spiritual to where you can come back enlightened from it. So, all that is true.
It's also normally a ceremony, like a circle of people, and they're all in the same room. So I,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I felt like I saw too on the documentary. It was a room like where everybody was in the same room, but it wasn't like that.
Well, I can tell you this. There's been one time we took them. We was on the lake, and it was a group of us. We took them. Lacey was with me this time, and I took them, and they kind of got to me real quick, like just like the time with Callie. They just wasn't as strong, but I didn't want nobody around me. I ended up going inside of my apartment and just laying inside the bed, and just Lacey ended up having to find me. I didn't even think to tell nobody that I was walking off. They just turned around and I was gone. So I mean, sometimes that happens. Somebody will feel like they need seclusion, they'll walk off, or sometimes they feel like they really need to go outside and just lay down in the sand or dirt. And typically, you do have a shaman, but this time it was spur of the moment, and we keep calling him the personal trainer. He agreed to kind of look out for everybody. He kind of been there and done that. He said I experimented with stuff like that years ago. I'm done with that, but I'll watch out for y'all.
Was the trainer there the whole night?
Say it again.
Was the trainer there the whole night to watch everybody?
Absolutely, everybody has to be. See, mushrooms are different than anything else. They're about an 8 hour trip, and it comes in waves. Okay, so you're not going to be able to take it and leave. You're going to have to make sure when you take it, and that's a wrap, and you're stuck with it.
Because how many people were there? Because for one person to watch everybody, and say if everybody tripping out, like, wouldn't that be a lot for one person? Depending on how many people were there.
Before you do an event like that, you wouldn't think so. You'd think that it'd be fine because typically there's not a big outburst like that. We never had an encounter like that. See, that night made me never do them again. especially with people who don't know really much about them. They just want to experience with them. They haven't studied them. They don't have any interest in actually climbing the ladder spiritually. They just want to try them. A lot of those people had really bad scripts. I wouldn't do that again. Never, never again. I learned a lot from that night. I thought a lot of things would be okay that end up not being okay. I thought it would be okay, the house being big enough and having a nanny that to do it with children in the house, as big as the house was. But I would now seeing the after effect, I would never do that. So you live and you learn.
Right, right. And Kelly, I wanted you to go back to, you already explained what you were expecting. And so when you guys had done them at the house and then moved to the big house, can you start from there?
Yeah, we moved to the so I felt my shrooms start kicking in about 15 minutes. I could feel the difference. I could feel the tingle in me. I could feel it like, oh, this kicking in, and it felt good. Like it was a good feeling. It was like a vibe. Like okay, this all
Are you in
right.
my apartment right here still or at the Dwight's house already?
No, we still on your side at this point
Okay.
in time.
I was
When
gonna
I
ask because when I came out the house the first time, it was still light outside.
It wasn't light
And
when we came.
Nah,
like,
Cali. I don't think Cali even got out there until
yeah,
like 11.
so that's a hole that's being filled because
Mm,
when Brandy was talking about when she got there, it was some people standing outside
Hmm.
and like a girl or something, whatever she said. It was only a
Yeah,
handful of people. I
right.
came out during that time, and I even have a video because y'all know I was mesmerized by the fireflies
mm,
because we don't see them here. So I was taking videos all the time, and I thought it was super pretty. And then I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So when I
Well,
went in the house, no,
uh,
like that's not when I saw you. I'm looking for my child now after cussing out Superman. I'm looking for my child. So as I'm running through the house and I'm looking over here and I see this table full of mushrooms and a powder and peanut butter. There's also a girl peeing in the seat. And I'm like still going through the house looking for my child. So during this time, this is all I'm doing. That's all my concern is looking for him. And when I find him, he's in the corner hugging his knees.
and what time was this?
This was like earlier during the evening. Like it was still light outside. Now, it was summer, so it could have been like 8 o'clock. But
So now I never saw any type of powder, but you said the mushrooms were they in the packages still? Because they
no,
didn't start this.
they were all across the table.
No, but they didn't start the event until later on because Cali didn't get there till
No, they were
11.
Kevin. They were
Yeah.
all across the table. When I ran in that house after cussing him out, they were all on that table.
Okay.
so
So
they
But
didn't
so
also,
start.
hold on, but let's fast forward too. Remember, Brandy also said she didn't take the second dose. And you
no, I
also
didn't take a
said,
second dose
hold
either.
on, yeah, but I'm saying, but you also said that you couldn't come over to the main house because y'all weren't there yet. So the people in the
Right.
main house had already taken theirs. So that's why it would be on the table. That's why I'm saying it's holes
Well, no,
being
I
filled.
thought they took it at around like about like an hour, at least an hour. I didn't think they got started till like 10.
Nah,
Mm,
Damn.
nah.
there we go.
See, that's
So,
why I wanted to do this because I'm like, there's holes now being filled. So
But
what I
Didn't
saw was
Kelly say
from
he
that
saw
first
Braylon?
dose.
Didn't Kelly say he saw Braylon downstairs though? I thought that's what made us think that that's what. Because I thought he said he saw you walk by real fast and he laughed.
No, that wasn't Braylon. Brandy saw Braylon. And remember she was saying,
No,
why are
Callie
there
said he saw
holes
you walk.
here?
No, Callie said he saw you walk by real fast and
He
laugh because you
saw
had a
me
onesie
walk
on.
by. Yeah, that's when I came back, remember? And I was talking about they yelling about somebody missing. And
Oh,
I'm
but
sitting
it
here.
wasn't with Braylon though.
No, I was just worried
Oh,
about
okay.
Braylon right then. I could give a
So
fuck
so
what y'all was doing.
So Braylon came downstairs before me and Callie even came over.
I'm guessing that, yes, because I'm saying
That's
now
wild
you're
as hell.
talking about
Callie, did you know that? Callie, did you know that? Is that news to
yeah.
you
Oh,
too?
from her story.
No, I'm saying, but is that shocking to you? What did you think at first?
What do you mean? What did I think? She said
I thought Braylon came downstairs while me and you was over there, not before. This whole time
not
I just
before.
thought that.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah, I
kind of
don't know.
confused on the timeline. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
me
like I
confused
too.
on
don't
time because
remember Callie saying that he saw Braylon. I
But
remember Brandy saying that she saw him because she said she waved at him and he
Right.
ain't wave back.
So to me, this seemed like this was like I don't want to say an all day, but it happened during the daytime. And then, Callie,
But
you said you didn't get there until midnight. So this was an all day. And like
well,
Royce is
but
saying that,
again, remember it was like May, like
right.
so
So it
it's
could have been
still
8
daylight
o'clock,
saving,
but
so it could be around like 8 because it's
mhm.
Firefly.
Well, me and Callie got there super late. I thought we got there just after y'all did because it seemed like people wasn't that high when we got there.
We got there. Man, it was like 11 something when
Mhm.
I got
But
there.
was anybody crazy rolling when we got there though? It seemed like they were still conscious enough to walk around and talk because Dwight was outside and he
yeah,
spoke to us as
I
we
think
walked
the
over.
timeline. I think the timeline that y'all are talking about is not as early as you think it is. So everything that y'all have been saying is accurate, but I remember it being after 11 o'clock at least. Like
That's what I
Mhm.
when
thought.
I met you, Royce, and we
Yeah,
walked around and cleaned up. That was after midnight. Like that was late. Like it wasn't
yeah.
early, but it was. I mean, we left
Well,
early,
we didn't
but
clean up until the next day.
right. But you remember that night we got together when we were, trying to just.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
looking for the person that was missing.
And that was late. Yeah, that was late. I don't remember the time, but it
So
wasn't
they
early.
had
It
to be
wasn't
around
7
12 because Callie
Correct.
said we got there around 11 and I was missing for 2 hours. So that was me in the bathroom then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So it
to
was.
clarify that, I feel like I'm the missing hole with that too. Just hear me out. When I'm saying I'm hearing somebody screaming about like we missing people and where it's like this person, and I saw what I thought to be a transgender just walking, not in any like sexual way or any type of offering way, but almost like comforting, trying to walk him to the bathroom. So now in my mind, listening to all these stories, I'm like, that's also when you came out the bathroom and y'all saw each other. So could it have been this person taking Cali to find his friend that he was looking for and he found him? Could that be it?
Well, no. So nobody took Callie to look for me, but you could have saw me walking to the bathroom and possibly thought I was a transgender.
No, I saw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I ain't nobody take me there.
So it still
I
seemed
walk
like there's
I
confusion
walked
on
Callie
what.
to the I walked
Ke-
Callie to the
Okay.
bathroom. Callie asked me to walk into the
Kev
bathroom and I
walked
took him
me
to the
to the
bathroom.
I
bathroom.
don't, but I don't think it was like to do anything. I think it was when you're
I
saying
don't
you're
even
in the
remember
bathroom and your
seeing them.
face is falling off, Kevin, and it's turning to dust and you're in there for 3 hours. Of course, he looking for you.
This is why
I
you
just
don't do
remember
drugs.
that's what I'm saying. I think the person was taking you to your friend that with like,
No, but
that's what he was
nobody
looking
took Callie
for.
to me. Nobody took him to me. I think Callie was kind of arguing when I came out the bathroom or something.
Yeah,
Well, somebody was
I was
walking him.
arguing.
Well,
I
let
was
me not. Well, let
arguing.
me say. Let me take it back. That it's not to the bathroom. He's walking him towards the bathroom. So if this person didn't walk him all the way to the
Did
bathroom, he
somebody other
walked
than me
him
walk
that
you anywhere,
way
Callie?
in
No.
My
the
bad,
area
Royce.
of the bathroom is where they were walking.
Listen. Yeah, I don't know what Royce. I don't know what that's about because I was arguing.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of arguing when Kev walked by me, and
When
I
he came
stopped
out the
arguing.
bathroom.
He came from somewhere. He came from down that hall, and
Came out the
then
bathroom.
Yeah.
huh?
I
He
Yeah,
came out
came
the
out the
bathroom.
So it
I had
bathroom.
was the
I had
bathroom.
the worst experience ever.
I don't know where he came from, but he came down that hall because that's
Hmm.
when I was flipping out right there, and
Right.
he walked by me, and I stopped arguing. I was like, where this nigga come from?
Yeah. And I
Like,
want to confirm for the people, Kevin was the friend that was missing, right?
right,
Yes.
right.
Okay, Kevin was the friend that was missing because I was confused, like who was actually missing. It was Kevin that was missing, y'all. So I just wanted to clear that up
And
for the people.
And
I want to my bad. Go ahead.
my concern was, yo, we geeked up in here, and what upset me was the fact that I felt like there was nobody watching us. Like, because if this guy is missing for 2 hours and I'm asking y'all where he at, and people are telling me they don't know where he's at, I'm saying, yo, what y'all mean y'all don't know where this dude is at, man? Like, what if he, you know, tripped over a rock or something on that dock out there or something and fell over in the lake? He geeked. But y'all make
I will say that I do remember that I did walk around. I walked to the pool. Like we did look. So I checked the areas that I knew could be potentially dangerous.
and he
Um,
was in the bathroom.
correct. Like
Yeah.
I don't know where. Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
based
because
off of the story.
Lewis is the one who reminded me that this was even like when I returned to the house. Because I forgot that I even returned to the house. And he was like, nah, because we were looking around the property. And I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, for this missing person who was in the bathroom.
Well, like I
And
said,
and and and
I
that's
felt
all.
really bad. I felt really bad, so I just ran to the bathroom. I don't even understand. You know, one of the side effects is that you lose a sense of time. It didn't feel like 2 hours. It felt like maybe 20 minutes. So seeing Callie so irate was just wow. Like, why are you so upset? It wasn't to outside that he said, man, you was gone for about 2 hours. You
But
know,
it
and I'm
seemed
like, dude,
like
I didn't
So
know. I felt bad, bro.
you gotta understand. You gotta understand. My homeboy invited me to this party in this big, huge mansion, right? And we all high. We all walking around, people walking around talking, people, I'm laying on the couch in the living room, but it was a voice that came to me and said, "Where is your homeboy at? He been
hmm
gone for a while." So I had to fight through my high and say, "Yo, I thought it's supposed to be somebody watching us. Where's this dude at?" And nobody could tell me where my friend was at. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yes, I started flipping out in there. Like, no, y'all not gonna tell me y'all don't know where this dude is at. And we all geeked in here. What if
Right.
he my thing was, what if he fell over in that big lake back there, just walking the property on his own? Just that's that's what that was all about. That situation right there.
All right,
So have y'all
but then take this. Now you see me come out of the bathroom. I'm barely in control of my faculty. I sit down and let's go from there. Because now you see I'm okay, but you're still upset.
And by now I am upstairs helping Brandy.
Yeah,
And
okay.
yeah, I wish
Okay.
she would come and tell her story, but
Yeah. So,
yeah,
hmm
so
this
you're
is
upstairs then.
I'm no longer even a part of this
Yeah,
story
because I don't see you.
until the
Yep.
next morning.
Me
So
either.
I'm gonna
Yep.
sit back.
Yeah.
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 You're no
Well,
longer because I
I was
never
gonna say
saw you.
okay, so I was gonna say I sat down. So I sat down in the chair when I came out of the bathroom. I remember Kelly kind of being in the corner of my eye,
Hmm.
but I just needed to sit down. I was barely able to stand up, so I sit down,
Right.
held my head down, kind of like almost like I'm asleep, and I could hear. I don't know. I don't even know how long I was sitting there before I heard an echo of Kelly kind of screaming over me, asking me where I was and upset that I was missing, and ultimately he ended up asking me to the bathroom. And I know Kelly from that point. If you don't mind, start from when you saw me go out the bathroom and how high I looked and take it to the point to where you actually take you to the bathroom.
What'd you say?
I said, if you could take it from the moment you saw me come out of the bathroom, how high I looked, and how you
You
walked
you
up to me, how much time passed by before you walked up to me,
you talking
and
about when you walked by me when I was yelling at
yeah,
everybody?
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah, yeah,
part?
yeah, yeah. I was so high, I didn't even know you was yelling.
I was mad. I was asking you what, like, where was you at? And you was like,
No,
"What?"
I'm saying from the moment you saw me walk by you, because you yelling, did you see me come out the? You said, well, you don't see me come out the bathroom. I
So
didn't know that, but
yeah,
you
so
know,
you
from
I
there,
don't know where you came from, but you said you coming out the bathroom. So
right?
I didn't know where you were coming from, but as I'm yelling, you walked by me and I just stopped yelling and I turned my head like, where he just pop up from? And
Yeah.
you went and you sat in that chair and I walked over there to that chair and I'm actually like, dude, where was you at? And you were like discombobulated, man. You was like, huh? What are you talking
How
about?
long did you shout before I looked up? Because all I heard was an echo. It was like you kind of woke me up out of a trance. I don't know how long I was sitting there, but it felt like forever.
Man, I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, I immediately went over there. I immediately went over there to the chair where you were sitting at, and I was standing like in front of you, like, bro, where was you at? Like, and
Yeah, I was
you
already
like
in a whole nother place.
you wasn't really answering my question, and
I didn't hear you.
it was making me mad, like, cause I'm like, yo, bro, I thought you was hurt somewhere. I thought you was
Mhm.
somewhere hurt. You feel what I'm saying? And then I just told you, man, take me to the bathroom, man. Show me where the other bathroom at. Like, and that's when you got up out the chair and you walked in front of me down the hall and you showed me where the bathroom was at. Now that's
Mhm.
where the part of my trip goes. It gets worse at this
okay.
point.
How much time you think passed by when you were in the bathroom?
I wasn't in the bathroom that long.
How much time? How much you think? 5, 10 minutes? What?
Maybe, maybe.
Okay. Because I know when you came
I really
when you
don't
came
know.
out, I was back over in the chair and you came back over to me, right? To ask me who walked
No,
into the bathroom.
no,
Okay, what happened?
no. When I came back out, all right. So when I had my little revelation in that bathroom about you at that moment. When I came back out the bathroom, you were standing in the hallway with the trainer. You and the trainer was standing in that hallway. First of all, okay, so I'm coming up the hall and Superman meets me at he's coming through the kitchen. I'm coming up the hall. We kind of meet at this one little part. He calls my name. I don't say nothing to him. I'm just staring at him. And he says, you just tripping. You all right. You gonna be all right. You just tripping. And I just start, it's like I'm slowly walking through the house.
Mm.
How you talking to me? I'm slowly walking through the house. So now I done got to you and the personal trainer. Y'all two are talking. Y'all two are talking. But I'm staring at the personal trainer. I'm staring at the personal. Yo, quit texting me right now. Chill out, chill out. Um,
Who?
I'm people texting me. I'm just trying to get this story out. Um, people, you and the personal trainer was talking, but I'm staring at the personal trainer because I thought you said this guy was supposed to be watching us or something, and it made me mad because he didn't know where you was at, and I was upset about that. And so,
Yeah.
like, as y'all are talking, I'm kind of staring this dude, like I'm staring at this dude, like, cause I'm slick mad. I think Superman must have texted either you or him or something, but he left. He left the house. He wasn't there all night. He left. He left right then and there. He was saying he was getting ready to go. I think he had a book bag on or something, and he
Who did?
left. The trainer.
That night? No, he didn't.
Well,
He was
he
back
didn't.
that morning.
I didn't see him the rest of the night. No more.
He didn't leave the
Nah,
property. He didn't leave the
no, he
property,
didn't.
but yeah, but he might not have
Oh,
been there with y'all, but he didn't leave the property. No.
Okay.
oh,
Well,
okay.
I didn't see him.
Maybe that's why the rest of the night they kept asking me to stay with Callie then, because Tina wasn't around. I mean, because the personal trainer wasn't around.
Yeah, he might have went back to his room and go to sleep. I don't know, but
Yeah, wherever he went,
Wait, wait, wait,
I didn't
wait,
see him the rest
wait,
of the night.
wait, wait, wait. Sorry. About to make me a sandwich. I heard something about the trainer and what?
Callie believes he left. We're trying to place his timeline. He believes
Uh,
he believes the personal trainer left after that moment of them arguing in the about where I was.
no, so the trainer was actually upstairs with me, taking care
Okay.
of Brandy and
Okay.
the other girl that was with her. So
Okay.
he was actually doing his job. But again, when you have so many people that
Mhm.
are on this trip and it's just him by himself and he's not even understanding it's that many people there,
Mm.
obviously things got out of hand. But he was upstairs with me taking care of Brandy, and I actually, like, we kind of
Mm.
took turns, and then I eventually ended up leaving because she was going crazy about her keys, and I was like, I don't want no parts. She don't need to drive, but if she finna keep all this screaming, like, I'm gonna put him downstairs, you figure it out as, the person looking over her for her, if you feel as if she can get her keys back. So when he gave her keys back, that's when she had calmed down and she was talking to him about, I believe that she said her mom or her sister was killed in like a car accident or something like that. But he felt as if like she was fine enough to have her keys and she didn't leave. She was in that bed and she was trying to come down off of it because she was gone. Like that girl was gone. She
Kevin,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. So you've
Mm.
taken I've microdosed one time. Like I don't really know what shrooms feel like, but you've taken it a few times. Do you consider that to be the worst trip you've had? And also, Do you feel like everyone experienced like an abnormal trip as opposed to it just being like waves of like good energy?
Right.
For me personally, that was my worst experience ever. Um, I don't think I've had an experience that I would say is actually bad at all because they all have good moments and bad. But this one, the feeling of dying was just too intense. I really thought that was my. I actually even questioned the reality after and wondered, did I die and go to hell? Like and like do this just seem like the same life, but it's just certain things change or some shit. I don't know. But that night was so surreal, man. I've never had a experience that strong. It was so strong. I've never tried anything else. I felt like I got enough enlightenment. I'll get that through reading and meditation. I'm good on the damn. Yeah,
Right. And
bro.
Kevin, you said that was your last time, right?
Yeah, I'm good on that. That was my last time.
Well, I was
Yeah.
also asking. Hold on. The
Well,
second
how
part
many
of the
times have you done it before that night?
I
he
can count on one hand. Like I said, about 4 or 5 times.
And you never did it again?
Never since then. Never will do it again. I feel
so
like the universe was warning me. If I do it again, I'm probably out of here. That was too. That felt like a close call.
my other part of the question was from your perception and your quote unquote tripping perception. Do you feel like the other people in the house were experiencing it on a crazy level like that too?
They have to be, bro. Them was for someone who's tried it 5 times. You got to think that ain't a whole lot, but that's way more than once, bro. You see what I'm saying? And then you got to think where you are mentally truly matters. If you're not in a peaceful place mentally, you can't just come out of the world and just go do that. You got to really truly
Right.
be on a walk. These ain't fun time
You
drugs.
gotta
They're
prepare
really not.
yourself. You gotta prepare
Right.
Right.
yourself for it. Yeah.
And so I actually didn't know the night was that bad, Lewis, until recently. I know I had a sort of a bad trip in the bathroom, but nobody was around for that. I knew Cali had one, and if you would have asked me, that's what I thought. I thought everybody else's was external, like somebody peed and threw up. Nobody talked about people's experiences because nobody from the house, from my knowledge, other than me and Superman, took them that night. And I thought Royce, she said she didn't though, so I guess I'm
I
good on that
wouldn't
because I
have
didn't
been.
see her take them.
I was
Um,
asleep.
okay, you cool. I ain't gonna argue with you on that. You
No,
good.
I'm just saying, and just again, I wish Brandy was on here because when she got there, she was actually told that I was in my room with my boyfriend, who we all know my boyfriend didn't even come. He was
Gotcha.
in the Bahamas traveling.
Got you. But I know all that was there was only people I knew there was the people who were staying in the house during COVID. I knew Callie and I knew Michael, and Michael was the dark skinned dude who you guys keep describing. And of course, I've met the tattoo guy, but I don't know him like that. So nobody really talked about their experience because nobody was there with me after to discuss it. But hearing that girl discuss hers and how she felt like she was going to be fed to snakes and stuff like that, I imagine Lewis. Yeah, that's because nobody, as much as we've done them, you've never heard of us having experiences like that.
Right. Yeah, I
We always
remember
just
you
talk
telling me
about
about.
how beautiful they are, never like
Right. Right.
that. That's
But
crazy.
but but you are everyone knows that that's a possibility. That's why you're supposed to be around people you trust and
Hmm.
like a nice peaceful environment, prepare for it because it can be a bad trip.
And
Exactly
look,
why
Lewis, you
I
just said it.
never
Also,
took them
peaceful
from them.
environment. Because
Yeah.
old girl was wilding about because her high happened in the snake room. It kicks in the snake room, so we should have never let people in the
That's the
snake room.
last room I would want to be in for
Right,
my first.
exactly.
That's the
Oh,
Right.
last
oh my
room.
God.
Right.
All
Can
those
you
snakes? Oh
imagine
no.
how
No.
bad that could have been?
Wait, are the
Yeah, that was
snakes
that was that wasn't a
poisonous?
good situation, man. If I could go
What's
back,
that?
I'd have planned that way better.
I
Like,
was
no,
asking,
it
are the
just looked
snakes
like a
poisonous?
snake room.
No,
Like,
but he has a couple like 18-foot snakes. He has an anaconda. He has like 20 snakes in that room. Like it's a lot. So
Oh,
if
nah.
you
oh my
if you
God.
if you tripping, you probably think them snakes busting
You
out of
think
them
you're an
cages,
Hell yeah.
anaconda?
bruh.
Oh
They be
my
dragging
god.
before the night over.
Right, right.
Won't
Well,
nobody be able to tell you different. Listen,
So
man,
what
I done
kind of
seen people outside the very next morning staring at the trees to see if they still hugging. I'm talking
right?
about because the experience of seeing them hugging the night before was so powerful, they thought it was real. And they actually questioned it the rest of their life. Like, was that real? And that's why I turned the camera on because the floor was glowing. Literally, it felt like I was in heaven. Like Patrick Swayze on Ghost, when he died, he looked back and saw his body. When I got up out of the chair to go to the bathroom, I looked back to see if I was still sitting in it. That's how much
That's
the whole room was. It was
that's
like I was in
crazy.
heaven. It was so beautiful, bro, but scary. So
Yeah.
when I got into the bathroom, I wanted to turn the camera on because when I look back at this camera, I want to see if it's really like this because I'm shaking my head trying to clear my eyes and it's just gold. It's amazing how your brain become in sync with with like I guess dream world and then reality at the same time, and you don't know the difference. So for
That's a
someone that's and that messed me up. So but I done done it before, so I can only imagine what it do to other people.
right.
Man, after I saw that movie Strays even recently, I'm good.
Yeah, we talked about that today. Like, I'm not trying that. I don't want to. Like, it sounds like it's an amazing experience. Like, it truly
No, it
sounds like an
doesn't.
amazing experience. But
No, it doesn't.
it also equally sounds like the most terrible experience you can have at the
It's
same time.
always
So,
both though, Lewis. It's like a
right,
roller coaster. It's
right.
always
It's
both.
that those waves.
Right.
Correct.
Mhm.
I
Correct.
like roller
Right.
coasters.
Even look, even Cali
I
said
don't
he
know
had
about
some good
that one.
experiences that night. Even Cali said it. As terrible
Right.
as
He
the
had
experience
multiple
was.
different, completely different
I
experiences.
don't think
Yep.
I don't think I need to experience that. Yeah, I think
Me
I'm
either.
good.
Me either. I'll pass.
Ever. Yeah, I think
But
yeah,
see,
I'm past that.
you're supposed to learn something from the good side of the trip and the bad side. So he's
Yeah,
taking
well,
you through
that's
the
just
yin
a
and the
trip
yang.
I'm not gonna take.
I'm not
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
gonna pass that test.
Mm-mm.
So is
Yeah,
there
it's a
such
tough one.
thing as a good batch versus a bad batch? Maybe y'all got a bad or a more potent batch.
Yeah, there definitely is. There definitely is levels. So that definitely had to be a stronger version, and you don't really know. And so you should kind of test them anyway. But I didn't have a stomach at the time, so I actually took less than everybody, and I still was
Mhm.
messed up. So yeah, I still was, and we only took me and Kelly took one dose. We didn't do no double dose. I don't know how the hell they survived double doses. That's crazy. That's nasty work.
So
So,
Callie, you wanna I guess, yeah.
well, I have one
Yeah,
question.
let me say
Oh, go
something
ahead.
real quick. Let me say something real quick, man. Like, man, listen, man, I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all keep talking about this bad trip, this bad batch, this man. Listen, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, I feel like I what I experienced was what I was supposed to experience. Like, I'm good. Like, I feel like I had to deal with two situations that night. I dealt with myself that night, and I dealt with some other stuff. Man, like, I felt like that what I experienced is what I experienced, man. And I felt like that's what I was supposed to experience. That's what I was there to experience. I mean, y'all, I don't know what y'all talking about, this bad trip and all of that, man. Like, I learned a lot from that night. I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my surroundings. I
And
learned a
that's what we're
lot.
here for.
So, when everybody keep talking about this bad trip because I flipped out about this, about that, like, man, listen, I feel like because I went in there with intent. I went in there spiritually on a with a purpose. I went in there spiritually and I asked for what I asked for. You feel what I'm saying? And in my opinion, I got what I asked for. Um,
I
I'm not.
apologize. I wasn't trying to minimize like your story. I
No,
didn't mean to
no,
get off
Royce,
topic.
Royce, we
No, but I
good.
apologize.
We good, Royce. Like, no, I just, I don't know. That's just my opinion of what I experienced that night.
Right.
And I'm
It's
gonna
your
tell
opinion.
you, I feel like it's just with shrooms. I just feel like you definitely have to have a strong mind to experience it, right? Um, Listen, people say whatever your experience was is what your experience was. Whatever my experience was is what my experience was. And I learned a lot that night from taking them. And I'm gonna tell you this: I've never taken them again, only because only because of the revelations I got while I was on them. And I am actually scared that if I take them again, I'm going to find out something about somebody I really love. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to find out some things about somebody close to me that I don't want to know. Like, and I think that's my only reason for not even taking them again. Like, I haven't done it again.
Right. Do you
That like
regret it?
I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I don't regret that night. As I said, I feel like what I experienced was what I was supposed to experience spiritually. I'm just like, y'all can disagree. People can disagree with what I went through or what I dealt with, but this is what I'm saying. Before I even went out there, I spiritually got in tune with myself, and I knew, like, I had a conversation with myself, my consciousness, and I knew what I was going there for. I went there with intent. Now, you may not agree with what I said I experienced. That's hey, at this point, I can't take that from you. I can't take that from you. You, as well as, you can't take my experience away from me. You feel what I'm saying?
But
And
I
and and
know.
and I don't listen, y'all. I just talk like this. I don't mean no harm in the way I talk. I just talk like this. You know what I'm saying? So, you
Thank you.
know,
So I
I
look
don't
at it
mean no
like this.
harm.
I look at it like this. That lady last night or the night before, she was talking about her experience when the door closed. She felt like she would be hurt and fed to the snakes after. Um, I believe her experience is very real. The only difference is she knows that was an experience and that people in the house wasn't actually planning to hurt her and feed her to the snakes. The thing I would like for Cali to understand is that his experience, while it may have been real for him, it wasn't actually in reality. Nobody
No,
in
you
the home
can't
planned to
say
hurt
that.
him.
You
No
can't
one
say
in the
that.
home
Yeah,
planned
you
to hurt
can't,
him.
man. You can't
Kevin,
Well,
tell
you
me,
can't
again,
say that.
bro.
I
You
don't know
can't
why.
tell me.
Listen. If I can, I finish my thought before y'all interrupt and tell me what I can and can't do. If the girl was believing that everyone in the house was going to feed her to the snakes. I'm sure you guys would say I wasn't. Nobody ever heard that. Nobody talked about that. Everyone was told it was for enlightenment purposes. No one's ever done that before. And you would let her know that, hey, while you may have had that experience, that's not consistent with reality. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but Kevin, remember everybody experiences every experience different. So yeah, we all have separate realities, but what he went through would not be the same as what she went through, and she wouldn't perceive it and understand it and create any conclusions based off of it. It wouldn't be. It would be different, like his and hers. So
Yeah, both of
you
them
can't
No,
felt
no,
as if
Lewis.
minimize
they
either
were
No,
one.
Lewis.
put,
They're
both of
actually
them
very
felt as
similar.
if they were put in compromising
Listen,
positions.
remember
Correct.
he said.
Correct.
Remember he said that he went into the bathroom and had a revelation about me. This is what I'm referring to. This is very similar to the snake thing. He looked in a mirror and believed that the version of him told him things about me, and he
Okay.
believes that's actually true in
But
reality.
what
That's
does
what I'm
that have
saying.
to do with the rest?
And what does that have to do with what he experienced? Because if he was having those thoughts or whatever, that means he's experiencing it in that moment. So yeah, it's gonna bother him. Like whatever he's feeling is not gonna feel good. Then you have these heightened senses from the shrooms. You can hallucinate from the shrooms. You can have heightened anxiety, paranoia. Like it's a lot of things that can happen. So it was still a real experience for him, regardless
Right,
if
I
you
know that.
anyone
That's very
considers it
true.
a reality or not.
That's very
It was
true.
Yeah.
still a
So
real
let's
experience.
let's take let's take me for instance. I had a vision that my face fell down on a beach, or my body parts fell on a beach, and in trying to collect my body parts, they turned to dust in front of me. Right, and my experience was more like feeling like a sense of losing myself, but who's actually holding the dust in my hand? And once I realized that person was me, my experience was we're not our bodies, we are our soul. And so I know that that was my experience, but I know I wasn't really on a beach. You see what I'm saying? And so while I'm saying he may say, and the mirror may have told him something, that's his experience. But you should know in reality, the mirror didn't actually tell you something. Like I know in reality, the floor
Bruh,
wasn't glowing
bruh,
because my camera
But
doesn't
that's
show
what
that.
I'm saying. Like
bruh.
you
Let me
can't.
ask you. Go ahead, Royce.
No, go ahead.
Bruh, you know why I'm scared to do shrooms, bruh? This is
What's
why I'm
that?
scared to do shrooms because I feel like my mind, my own mind, is gonna traumatize me so much in that space, in that high space, that when I'm sober, I won't be right anymore. Because I know how feelings can change you. Feelings can change the chemistry in your brain, bro. Fear in a moment can change the chemistry in your brain, bro. Like it has a real effect on people. Like people who have anxiety disorders and paranoia disorders, it don't just come from nothing, bro. It comes from fear and stress and accumulation of all these things happening. So you can't say if someone if he experienced it, whether in a sober mind or a high mind, he still experienced it, and whatever he
Yep.
felt was probably heightened more than it
Yep.
would be if he was sober. So that's actually a worse experience as opposed to being sober, right? So and the fact that you're intoxicated, you're high, the fear is something you're not going to be able to control. That's why people kill themselves, bro. Like people kill themselves on these drugs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Like, this is why now I understand why this isn't an addictive drug. It's not an addictive drug, and I can understand why. I'm not saying, man, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you, like, I do not regret my experience that night. Nobody's gonna like make me feel like, yeah, you was just tripping. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't regret none of that, man. Like, I feel like, on my spiritual journey, I got what I was supposed to get. But at this point, man, I'm tired.
Well,
I'm
can
tired.
y'all so we can let this die since
Yeah,
we're all saying that we're tired. Can
yeah.
y'all like address the whole fruit issue? Can y'all get that out so we
If you
can get
want
past
to,
that?
if you want to, you don't have to.
I mean,
Right. Are we like
I said what I said
I
happened.
already
Like,
know. I already know exactly where it's gonna go.
and
Right.
I
I'm
and
just
I ain't
asking if
and
it's something that you
listen.
want to clarify. If you don't, then just say for now,
Let him clarify.
hold our peace.
Or there
Let him.
doesn't need there.
All I can say is I did not offer him fruit with my hip shaking. I did
Okay.
not
Okay.
try to come on to him. I'm not gay. I would not try to rape him. I would have never tried to hurt him.
Okay.
Man,
That's all I can say.
at this
I said
point,
that for 5 years.
I'm leaving it there. All right.
Right.
Like, I'm like at this, I'm really exhausted with this shit. Like, so I mean, I've been saying what I said. He's saying it didn't happen. Hey, that's his experience. Because here's what I feel. Here's what I feel. While everybody is trying to paint me out to like be on this bad trip, you know what I'm saying? He was just as high as I was. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not saying that at all, which is why I'm trying to give you a
No, no,
chance
no,
to say your
no, Royce.
what you experienced even the next day. I don't think you were high the next day. You said you
No, I
were.
was still,
I
no, I was
didn't.
still.
You sounded very sober to me when you was talking about coming and shooting up the house.
No, no, you know how you go on the ups and the downs, the ups
Okay.
and they come and they go that way. But I knew exactly what I was saying all night long.
Okay.
I knew exactly what I was saying from the time I got there to the time I left. Just because I'm high don't mean I don't know what's going on around me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I knew what, but I wasn't that high. I just wasn't that high. I just
So
wasn't. Yeah,
you
I wanted that gate open. I said what happened. I wanted that gate open, and I was on one. I was on one.
and are you? I mean, either one of y'all gonna address who was moaning?
You love
I
drama.
didn't hear
You
No,
anybody
I
love
moan.
don't.
you
I
I
love
didn't
just know this is something that people are going to
I didn't
ask.
Oh,
I
You're
didn't
Like,
hear
good
this
for
is not why
ratings.
we're
what
No, you're
doing
part
this.
you
good for
Like, people are like,
ratings.
oh, they didn't address this.
which
They
part
didn't
you
Royce,
talking
address
I
about?
I
that.
didn't
you
Hold,
hear
are
which
good for ratings. You're good
which
listen,
for ratings.
morning?
I didn't hear anybody moaning. I didn't even know I was moaning till the next day. All I know is I'm making noises from my stomach hurting. Callie calls that moaning, so that we call that moaning, but I didn't hear anybody in the other room. Callie says he did.
Okay.
Hey, listen. I said what I said. I said when I was in that room and he brought me that fruit. I know what I heard. I heard men in that room moaning, and one of them, yeah, they were moaning with each other, with each other.
Was
Now
it
Like,
like
Lewis,
was it next to the bathroom where you heard? Like, where was
no,
the
Lewis.
room where you heard
it was.
the moan?
Listen. It was in
So
the snake room. So maybe all their stomachs were hurting in the next room.
describe the snake room, Lewis.
The snake room is a wide open room, and it just has a couple sofas, and it has a wall full of snakes, a cabinet full of
Right.
like 20 some snakes, and then there's a large fish tank on the other side of the room. TV on the
Surrounded
wall,
by
but
glass in the back
it's a
wall.
wide open room. It's glass door walls. It's like 10 wall. It's like 10
Well, it's
doors,
a
French
room right
doors.
before that, though, too.
Well, that's sunroom,
Mhm.
but that's not. So then it's the jet.
Isn't
So
that
it's the
where, like, the
sunroom.
chess thing is and, like, the sofas and
No,
stuff?
that's the gentleman's room. Like the sunroom is
Okay.
like the where the big kitchen table is. So that's on the other side of
Yeah.
the, and then on
No,
the
but,
opposite
like,
side is this big nice. It's nice. It's a nice room. Like it's got a lot of like not really antiques, but very like gentleman club type stuff in it. Like it's not strip club, but like
yeah.
upscale.
Like a man
Yeah, like a
cave
cigar lounge,
lounge.
like a
Yeah,
cigar
cigar.
lounge type.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like something like that. So it's wide open though. Both of those rooms are wide open. There's no doors on. They're like the main part of the house. They like
Yeah.
open. It's an open floor plan. So
Yeah.
and then it goes into hallways and other things. But those are the two main rooms. And so I don't know where they're talking about if they were in the snake room and hearing something in the gentleman's room. Like, I don't know what rooms y'all are talking about.
Let me. You said you don't know what rooms I'm
No,
talking
like when
about.
you're talking about you were in a room and you heard stuff in another room. I don't know what room you were in or
I
what
was
room.
He
I
was
was
in the
in the
room right
room
next to the snake room.
off the snake room.
So the gentleman's, like the gentleman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right by the
yeah,
front door, like right
but
there.
Okay,
yeah,
all
coming
right,
out the
all right.
front door. So
And that's what
yeah,
what I've been
Okay.
telling him is that room is open. Nobody would do that. That's not going to happen, man. Now I always say you could have walked. And he was like, I'm not going to get up and look. But
yeah, I wasn't
you
getting
know,
up to look at
I just try to bring
nothing.
reason for him to understand that
Right.
wouldn't happen. But I
Right.
understand that his
Bro,
experience is his
listen, bro,
experience,
I
right?
will
listen,
agree
listen.
with that. Like as the year I was there, if there was any sexual activity, it was all behind closed doors. We
Okay,
never
okay.
saw anything. So and there were children in the house too. It
Oh,
wasn't
hey
whoever
man,
in their house by
But
themselves.
Lewis,
So
look, it
Lewis,
was
like
I'm
again,
just stating. I'm just
when
stating.
yeah,
Yeah.
we talking about that night.
I'm not. I
yeah.
don't
That
know.
night,
I don't
because
know. I don't
obviously
know.
I
I
ain't
don't know
see
what
people
happened.
fucking in the house either. Because
Right. I
I
don't know
Well,
what happened.
well, I'm gonna tell you, I heard a girl moaning before them. So whatever, and it was in that open room. So I don't know what was going on. Maybe this night was different than any other night. I don't know, or
it was.
maybe all their stomachs were hurting and
And,
everybody was moaning. I don't know. Maybe
and
everybody's stomachs were hurting.
one
Well,
thing,
they
Like,
because
did. They did eat
I
shrooms. They did
all
eat
right,
shrooms.
but
let
Like,
I hate to
let that
ask the
be it then.
question,
I'm just
but
playing.
we know what moaning sounds like, right? What kind of moaning did y'all hear?
Oh,
I just want to
not doing
clarify
that.
that
I'm not
because
doing that.
we know
Royce,
if
you brought
somebody
it
is
up.
sick, we know
I'm
if
not
somebody is
gonna be
sick and
on
you
here
kind of
moaning
moan like,
about
I
"Oh, my
don't know.
stomach hurts,"
You gotta ask the people that was
Be-
moaning. I ain't
because
moaned
I
not one
mean,
time. So I don't know. Like you gotta ask the people
Here,
that were moaning.
yeah, we're
here's
not
because
gonna.
here's
when we talk about the moaning, everybody wants to know, like, okay, well, you say moaning, like, what are you implying with the moaning? Like, that's
I call it a groan. You get severe body ache. Sometimes you can feel it all the way down in your bones. It feels like every blood vessel hurt. Like areas you didn't know could hurt feel like they hurt. Like your body in a vice. And it comes and
okay.
it goes. And then sometimes it's like it feels like a bolt of energy, like a lightning bolt hits you all of a sudden or whatever.
Well,
So
let me say, my stomach was
different
hurting
reasons.
too. My stomach was hurting too, and I didn't moan not one time that night. Not one time. So I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe things work different for different people, and maybe everybody in that snake room stomach was hurting. If that's what it was, that's what it was. I don't know. I'm just saying I wasn't getting up to look. It sounded like something else. Maybe it wasn't. That's y'all. Hey,
Let
it
me ask
is
you a
what it
question, Callie.
is.
Let me
So
ask you a
Yeah,
listen,
question, Callie. Callie, let me ask you a question.
yeah.
So I know you said you wouldn't do it again, probably, but let's just say, well, I guess, well, that's probably already enough said, but would you do this? Would you do shrooms with a girl for sexual purposes? Could you see yourself being able to actually participate in that act while high on shrooms, the way you were feeling that night?
Okay. Okay. The at the beginning when I said the first 15 minutes when it started kicking in,
Yeah,
yeah, that was a vibe right there. Yeah, yeah. That was a
at the
yeah.
beginning.
But towards the end, no. No, I wouldn't have I wouldn't have no, the way I was feeling, no. Like no.
Yeah. All right.
But I ain't gonna lie, like in the first beginning, yeah, that was a nice little feel.
I never heard of it in the beginning, but I know like after you starting to come down, your body starts to feel at peace, and then you kind of can. But I know during the thing, that's the last thing on your mind.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
more like
know.
on dying and trying to survive or challenging your fears, like what you had, or different things. Like it's rough. It ain't fun. And so when people say, "Hey, dude, let's take some shrooms," I say, "Man, you're going in the wrong way. Them are not anything you need to be playing with." That's what makes me believe they're more spiritual than anything, because it's almost like you gotta respect them. You can't go in that
No,
shit just fucking with no damn
no,
shrooms, bro.
I agree. I agree. Just no, that's one thing I do agree with him on. You gotta respect it. Like you gotta like. I'm dead serious. Like this is why I'm saying I don't regret that night. I don't regret that night because I did respect the situation. I did respect the shrooms. I did respect the intent that I had, and my experience took me where it took me because not only did I deal with myself, I had to face some things with myself. I mean, I had some other revelations, and this now this is what I want to ask you while I got you on the panel, bro. And I mean, this is something that bothered me. This is something that really bothered me. Why did you film me on them stairs, bro.
So we on the stairs. We were arguing at first. We eventually calmed down. It's almost like nothing was ever wrong. We start laughing. You start arguing back and forth with the tattoo dude, and I'm listening to you. And I go, he ain't gonna believe this shit. So I record you because I'm gonna show you the next day. That's literally all. I recorded myself too. I was gonna show you that the next day so we could
So
talk about it. But you were wild, and if you look at you on the steps, it's homeboy to homeboy. That's the moment you can't let go. And I know now you feel violated. I would have never thought it would turn out that way. There's nothing that you're doing on those steps that makes you look bad. I'm laughing with you. We're just high. It's just a high moment. Anybody who sees the video knows that there's nothing going on. So I mean, I can apologize for that. I didn't feel I was doing you wrong, but the way you see it, I'm definitely wrong. You feel like you high, and I'm watching you when I felt like I was going to show you a moment that you probably would forget otherwise. So I will apologize for recording you right there, but it was like a moment that just couldn't let pass. I wanted to show it to you the next day and laugh about it.
Is this that next morning or is this still that evening?
No, this is when we went outside the first time. After he was asking me who it was, took him to the bathroom. We ended
Oh,
up
so
going
it's still
outside, and
that night. Okay.
we ended up having a little encounter out there too, some back and forth, and but it ended up
Okay.
calming down, and we were laughing again. And at that
Okay.
moment, he was sitting on the steps, and we
I
were
was just
laughing.
making
So
sure it wasn't the Sarah moment that I saw because I'm like,
Nah, that was the next morning.
no,
yeah.
That
yeah, the
was
next morning,
that was
a
as
few
the
hours later.
sun was coming up. That
Okay.
it was around that time.
Okay.
Yeah, because even Brandy said she heard me outside about six
Yeah.
thirty. So it was about that time
Yeah.
that I was trying to get out of there.
Go to bed.
Yeah,
If
bro.
I
I'm
if
gonna
I
just
if I if I if I
I'm
listen,
gonna keep it.
Cali, if I could see into the future, I would have never recorded you. I see now that
Yeah, bro. Like
that only
that
confirmed
fucked
what you
me
would have
up,
thought.
bro.
And listen, when I showed Angie, I showed Angie so she could tell you the comments so I could show it to you. Like, let Kelly know we just tripping. It's no big deal. And so when she told you, I imagine you was already in the heat of the moment feeling like you was being conspired against. So you just added that to it, and it became like feeling like something where I betrayed you. You're only at the house because me and you had a trust, and you knew I wouldn't do that to you. And I was hoping you could rely on what you know about me and know that because if you think about it, um, what you see so far from collective thought, collective put together stories, it doesn't appear to be there was any harm put on you. So I would have had no reason to film you and set you up, but I do apologize for filming you to begin with. I didn't realize it would only add to that.
Yeah, we good,
yeah.
bro. Like hey, at this point, I'm tired, bro. Like I'm tired. I'm good, bro. Like I'm good. It is what it is, bro. Like I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. I just want you to get back to who I met, man. You feel what I'm saying? Like that. Get back to that, bro. Like you got. I think you got some things you got to deal with, bro. Like get back to who people thought you were, who people encountered you as, man. Because a lot of people don't know who you are anymore, bro. And I
They
don't
ain't been
know.
around me, Callie.
I got you.
You was the last one of all of them to be around me, and since our fallout, neither were they.
Well, I'm gonna say that we all have things we gotta work on. So if he's saying you got things you gotta work on, I got things I
We
gotta
all
work on.
got
Like
things. No, we all
everybody
got
does,
things to
right?
work
So
on.
it's all about growing and learning and progressing and trying
I
to be
just
a
wish
better
he would see
version of yourself.
I'm still the person that invited him to the house. I'm still the person who never do him no wrong, who mean him well. I'm still that same person. So, but I get it.
And Kevin, I kind of want to clear up something too. So as
Yeah,
far as the ceremonies, you guys never tried to, get anybody caught up in any kind of situation. I want to clarify that right now too, as well, because
never.
I know
No,
that's
no,
been
not at all. It was always
okay.
for enlightenment purposes. We wanted to be better
Okay.
people. See,
The only
listen,
person that feels that way is Brandy.
my mantra is
She's
be the
not.
best version of yourself. My mantra is make the best version of yourself your new religion. Make being the best version of yourself your new religion. And I saw mushrooms only as a gateway to doing that. Be elevating and becoming my higher self. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm glad y'all spoke about this. I know I spoke to both of y'all today, and both of y'all have great platforms. I believe both of y'all are intelligent. You have good messages for the people. Like you love your community. you want to do more for the world and your community, and it's good to see that y'all could kind of try to put this behind you and kind of use your voice for some
Mhm.
positive and some good, make some good changes and get back to the true version of yourselves. Like that's beautiful that y'all could get on here in front of other people and kind of state how you feel and kind of try to work through a situation where y'all were bumping heads.
And that's exactly what I feel happened. Like, even if y'all may not even fuck each other like ever again, I think
Yeah,
this was needed.
Right.
yeah, I'm good, man. Like I'm good. Like I was telling Lewis, bro, you gonna have to like in the same way I'm gonna have to like when I can't control how people feel about me, especially like your supporters, and I can't control how people, gonna look at you still. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm good, bro. Like I ain't trying to beef with you, bro. I ain't trying to beef with you.
Kelly, I
Like
never wanted to beef with you. If
like
you, if you,
I'm good.
listen, for our beef to end, all you ever had to do was walk away.
Yeah, bro, you can't be attacking me though, like because somebody else bring up this night right here. Like you started attacking me because somebody else brought this night up. I didn't bring this night up, bro. That's when you started making videos about me and stuff. Like, but bro, I don't even want to go through all that. It is what it is, man. Like I'm
And I'm sorry.
exhausted.
Right.
I
I'm
mean,
exhausted.
I think a lot of this was rehashed because of me. And again, I said it in my last video. I ain't mean to
It
throw
wasn't
the
Royce. It
I
wasn't
ain't mean
rehashed
to
because of
throw the
you. It
stone
never
at the
ended.
whole. Listen,
Yes,
I
you
told
did.
him to
Yes, you
bring
did.
his ass outside. Bring that ass here. That's what I said. He ain't come outside, so everybody in that fucking house got hit with that stone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and, and
I
you
was just telling my piece. I was telling what happened to me, how I did feel as if I had to escape, and now Lewis tells me that I could have just driven up to the gate. That is not what I was told, because every time I left that motherfucking house, somebody said they had to let me out. I mean, even
no.
pretend to go around that wall, okay? But
Because
I digress.
that person would have been me. I would have been that person that would have had to do that.
mm,
And I ain't never buzzed nobody out, not even the mailman. He get out by himself.
How many times I left that house in my own car?
I don't know.
That's what made me not. That's one of the things made me not trust you because I was like, you don't need nobody to let you out the gate, but somebody told you that. I get it.
Yeah. And
Mm.
again, how many times did I drive my car when we went somewhere? I didn't.
That's true. You just when you came and left. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much probably just yeah.
So,
That makes sense.
mhm.
yeah.
That's
Damn.
funny. That's
One
funny.
thing I want to add too is because a lot of times people are going to run with their stories, run with their narratives. As long as all of you are good at where it stands, that's all that matters. Please don't let anybody convince y'all or try to get y'all to fight. You know, now that we have this open communication, you guys should be able to talk to each other if there's anything that needs to be cleared up or any misconceptions.
Man,
Agreed.
listen, I'm trying to get back to what I was doing, man, helping my people, man, you know what I'm saying, and
Yes,
working, and
sir.
I'm trying to get back to that, man. Like my page, like man, my page ain't for that. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm good, bro. Like I'm good. Like it is what it is. Like I just, hey, I'm gonna work on me, and I'm gonna get back to what I do, man. But
I want. Go ahead. My bad. Didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
go ahead, bro.
I want to say this, man. During all of this, I want to apologize to anybody who is gay. I mean, no harm by saying I don't want to be called that. I don't see it as a moral issue at all. The issue was he believed he was being violated by me, like trying to rape him, and I'd have to be gay to do that. So I'm sorry it became more about gay than what it was, but kind of got lost in that. But it was never about just people thinking I'm gay. I could care less, But I just apologize to anybody out there who think I think less of you if you're gay. I don't care. So I just want to make that clear. And of course, I'm getting back to my life. I don't care what anybody's saying. As long as Callie's not saying it, I'm good. That's all I've ever said.
Right.
Man, I'm good, man. Listen, I'm good. I'm
That's what's
I'm
up.
I'm exhausted. Like I'm tired. I'm
Oh,
tired.
this was good.
It's
Yeah, this is
It's
definitely a good
exhausting.
conversation.
It's
No, because
exhausting
it was
going against your
good. I'm
truth.
happy. Like it was no screaming, it was no yelling, it was no ignorance. Like
Nah, I already said I was coming into this. I wasn't coming into this to argue. I said
yeah,
whatever that brother says, his experience was or what he feel, it is what it is. Like I can't take that from him, but don't take my experience from me either. You feel what I'm saying? And
Right.
we just gonna agree to disagree. We just gonna agree to disagree, man. I ain't like, man. I just want, man. Like I told Lewis, I feel like this ain't the dude I met. You feel what I'm saying? This not the guy that I met. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people feel like that. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Like the same way I gotta work on myself, but that's all I can do is work on me, man. That's all I can
Right.
do is work on me and
Everybody can.
continue to be who
yep,
I am, man.
And just so you guys know, I don't want to be who they met. I'm trying my best to be someone better every day.
Mhm.
And everyone evolves in their own direction. So don't ever hold somebody to how you meet them. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
And we can all learn from conversations like this and situations like
Absolutely.
this to where this is how you learn by actually doing it and then gaining that experience and other people watch you and see you handling things a certain way. It takes time and then like what y'all are doing right here, this becomes habit. And this is
yep,
how you deal with every situation and everyone so you never have no issues with your people.
yep.
Absolutely.
Nah, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good, man. Like, I think I just saw somebody say, to ignore the noise. I mean, and
Right.
that's what I was telling you, Lewis, when me and you were talking. Like, we got to get to a point where, hey, man, hey, he said what he said, I said what I said, whatever. But
Hmm.
people are still going to make noise. I can't change the way people feel about Kevin. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I just got to work on me. Just keeping my nose out of it. This is where we said we was gonna go with it. I'm good, man. Like I'm good. Like I just don't like being attacked. I don't like people, you know. I just don't like being attacked, man. And I felt like I was getting attacked a lot, but I'm good. Like I feel like, Royce, I appreciate you giving me my chance to have my voice heard. I mean, I appreciate all of y'all honestly right now. Like I'm tired.
All
I,
right.
I can't say it no more. Like I can't even explain it. Like I'm exhausted.
I understand. I understand.
Like spiritually, I'm really drained. I'm exhausted.
Don't have no
Um,
choice but to be.
I got
Yep.
my circle. I got my circle of people saying, "Cali, what are you doing? Like,
Hmm.
what are you doing? Get back to get back to you.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
You losing your way. You losing yourself, bro. Like, and I like to listen to my people. I like to listen to my circle, and I don't like to disappoint my circle, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
And I think people need to understand too, like our circle is really what matters the most to us, like the people we are around, like our community. But when it
Right.
does get out into the world, it does affect that community, which is again what I mean made me explode because my village, like is what helped me down. But my community that I used to have, I didn't have anymore. So when you're hearing all these things pouring down on you, or you're hearing like your voice can be silenced, or they gonna hear yours before mine, and little stupid shit like that has been going around, like it's a smaller picture, which is extremely big to us because that is our world, that is our community. These are the people who we are working with, and if they hear certain things that are so negative, then it affects our life, and that's how we
Right.
lose it. So before anybody got there, because I was there, I told you, I was there. I was there,
So
and
I want
I
to
was
say
I
this.
was very close to taking myself out of here.
Goodness
Mm.
gracious.
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Sorry to hear that.
that's a lot right there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot right there to hear that.
Royce, you be strong. And I'm sorry if I said anything to contribute to any of that you might be going through too.
I appreciate that.
You look strong, you look like you can take it, and so I apologize if I hurt you in any way.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Man,
Yes, ma'am.
I say this to you, Kev. listen, brother, you know, I'm not your enemy, bro. I'm not your enemy. And I'm gonna say this, like, hey brother, just work on you, bro. Like, work on you, bro. Like, we ain't gotta be friends, but we ain't gotta be enemies either, my dude. But
This what I'll say to
I'm
you.
not your enemy, bro. Like,
I'm gonna say this to you. Nah, you're not an enemy. And out of 5 years we went at it, I'm gonna say this. You don't owe me a damn thing. I don't owe you a damn thing, but we owe it to our community to repair what we did to it with the bullshit we did, what we've been going through, making it public and not giving them what they've been needing from us. So you go get the work, do what you got to do in your direction, and I'll go in mine. But let's continue to make the world a better place.
yeah,
Yes,
I'm with
sir.
that. I'm
I
with
agree
that.
with that. Now, I want to ask you guys, are you worried about any ramifications from this show, or nobody's worried about that?
Um,
I ain't
the
worried
only
about
thing that
nothing.
I would say I'm slightly worried about is obviously Brandy wasn't able to take her or tell her story because for me, I wanted it to be known that I had nothing to do with her being moved or being put anywhere. I had nothing to do with that. When I put her keys back downstairs, I was out, you know? And Lewis, I believe you were in your room.
Yes, and then
Um,
I was with you part of the night, so I can
yeah,
verify that you weren't a part of it. We did not do any shrooms. I'm too
right.
scared to do shrooms. I'm too scared. I'll say it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
But no, you know, the people
And
knew
it's
who
for,
the people who took
my
them
bad.
knew who took them, and we were good. Like we were there. We were watching out.
yeah,
We were there. We were helping out a little bit, but I was just not a part of it. For most of the
right.
night. So
Well,
we
you asked
did
the
our
question.
part to help out, being the sober
Mhm.
people in the house. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and you had asked the question earlier about how many people do you think that's the right amount of people to be there and stuff like that. And as far as ramifications, I would just say hearing other people's stories and seeing that lady, knowing I didn't even see her that whole night, makes me understand that you don't know all of what's going on, and so something could be going on that you are unaware of. And so while I know our intent has always been on the up, um, I guess I can rest assured knowing I've done nothing to anyone. But if anybody tells their story, I would never defend anybody if something really happened to them. I would never do that. I would
So,
actually stand for
yeah,
them
so
because I don't play that.
to just get it like out of you, did you transport Brandy from the room upstairs, the girls' room, into Superman's room?
Not at all.
Okay. Lewis, did you transport Brandy from the
I
girls'
was
room
not there.
upstairs to right?
I was
You were
not
not
there.
there.
And
So
I
then
Again,
also,
I never
not
met
only
her.
was I not there, I also did not even meet Brandy. I told you I was by myself. I
right.
was to myself.
But Lewis, this is crazy because she was there for days. I never met her either. You never met her either.
Well, I thought for who I thought Brandy was not the girl that was there for days. So yeah, if it was the video game chick, then yeah, then I know her.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Like I haven't spoken to her since I left there. She may have been there a few days. I'm not sure
Well,
how long she
the
was
girl
there.
that was with Royce, I've never saw her, and of course I was still there during that time, so she must have just stayed with D in his room or something because I never saw her at all, and I'm sure she
You
would
know,
know me because I'm sure
Oh, she was
everybody's
in
been
his
talking
room.
about me.
She was in his room the next morning because she heard Cali like yelling
Right,
and
I heard her
I
story.
went inside and I was
Right,
beating on the door telling him to get up.
right,
She was
that
still
was
there
actually
when I
scary.
said all that.
Right, that was scary to me because I didn't see her there at all. So I'm like, I was just now learning that there was more people there than I knew. I didn't see her.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I
yeah,
worked there for a year and I probably filled out over like 400, 300, 400 NDAs. So I met a lot of, and there's a
hmm
lot of people I'm not going to remember unless I interacted with them. So I don't have any recollection. I didn't, first of all, that night, I didn't see any of y'all. None of y'all. Like, I don't have any recollection of seeing anyone except Royce. I was with Royce and
Are
the
those
hmm
trainer.
NDAs valid?
huh?
Consult your attorney.
Are those NDAs
Consult
valid?
your attorney.
attorney.
You've already
Consult your
answered this. Are
I'm,
they
but I
valid?
don't need to answer that. That's not my business. I'm not a lawyer. That's not my expertise. But
They're not
you put it
valid.
like this: you can find out for yourself. You don't need me to tell you. Like, if you want the knowledge, it's out there.
They're not valid.
And so one
You
more
said
So,
it.
question
so
about
people,
Brandy.
I'm sorry,
Who is she?
people are asking if I was in the room with Brandy. I want people to understand when people were looking for me, everyone was looking for me. I was the only one missing at the time. There was nobody missing with me.
I can
That I'm
say
aware
that.
of.
They didn't say it was multiple people.
All right. What was you going to say, AT2?
Who was Brandy invited by? Do you guys know?
Superman.
Okay. Because then maybe that's why like Kevin didn't even know she was there because he didn't know. And so I guess that's another follow-up question for you, Kevin. Do you always know who's there or no?
Well, most of the time, when we do shrooms, there's not really people there. We don't do that's our first time doing that. That was spur of the moment
Okay.
and should have never been done like that. We always saying this should never fucking happen again. We were all saying that, you know.
Okay.
But we
Yeah.
do have I mean there were get-togethers, like small little get-togethers where there were people there that we may not know or interact with. Everyone's just vibing and hanging out. So like
Right.
you're not
Absolutely.
That
gonna
was
All
like
the time.
necessarily meet
Hurricane.
everybody at every event and
Right.
speak to
Mhm.
everybody. But you might be vibing around people, but for them to be memorable to you, remember who they are. I mean,
And
unless you
sometimes And
go ahead.
sometimes sometimes I'll be in my apartment for a couple of days. I ain't even go over every day. So I'll be laid up or something. And people be done came over there and did whatever, and I wasn't even over there the last couple of days. So, but yeah, it could be an
I
event
had
where
friends
you might
over.
talk to two or three people and don't see the other who meet them.
I had friends over twice,
Yeah,
and one was like my two guy friends, and then the other one was my friend and her kids.
yeah.
But that was it. Like
I'd have my family come out, my kids and other women and stuff like that. But that's about it for me in Cali that one time. See,
Yeah. So
Cali
you
used to
guys
come out
didn't even have
before
to
Lewis
meet her.
came back. When Lewis and Royce and them got there, Cali didn't come out there between that time frame. The 3 months we was out there.
mhm.
Because see, Dwight was gone for the 3 months. Me and Lewis was there before y'all even came back.
Mm.
But anyway, man, I definitely appreciate the conversation. I guess ain't no need to sit here and ramble. I feel like we're rambling now. How y'all feeling?
I'm
Yeah,
good.
it seemed like we all got everything out. Does anybody want to say any final words? Everybody good?
Yeah, I got to
Yeah.
get back. I got to get back to work. But Lewis, brother, you're a solid brother. You're a solid brother, man. It's been great talking to you, Royce. Royce, you my dog, man. At too. I appreciate you, brother, because when I
Yes.
talked to you behind the scenes, it wasn't no bashing, it wasn't no nothing against Kevin,
Right.
but I guess that's how we got here.
Yeah.
You know, and I appreciate you for giving us the platform. Kevin, I'm not your enemy, brother, and I'm good, bro. I'm not coming at you. I don't have no reason to come at you at this point, brother. Get back to being great, man. You know,
Hey, listen, Kelly, you relentless. I'm gonna tell you that. You one hell of a warrior. You fight. You a fight boy. You get on my fucking nerves, boy.
it's all
But
good, man.
listen. I wanna see you turn that energy. I'm anxious to see what you do with that shit pointed in the right direction. Cause you
Yes,
you
sir.
you fucking fight,
Yes.
boy. Let's go at it.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir. Yes,
You
We
point that
sir.
shit in
definitely
the right
fight.
direction, it ain't nothing gonna stop you.
That's the truth.
What's up?
That's the
That's
truth.
what's up. You guys, I got to get back to work. I appreciate y'all, man.
All right,
All
y'all
right.
be real.
That was y'all.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. And I'll go
Thank
ahead
you,
and end the show
Stacy.
right here. Yes, no problem. Thank you, Royce. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate y'all being here, and I'm happy we was able to get this resolved. So, again, no more issues, no nothing. Y'all can all talk to each other. Do not let the outside voices get to y'all. I'm happy we was able to come to a resolution tonight. So, I appreciate y'all being here again. Thank y'all.
Good night.
Yes, sir.
All
Peace.
right, good night, everybody.